Today I was talking to a mentee of mine about the difference between men and women, loyalty, how a woman can build a man up or can tear a man down, and whether or not if a man can build a woman up, I know he can tear a woman down, but can he build a woman up and her still respect him? You hear a lot of times guys talk about, and I've done this too, you put a lot of time and effort into your woman and they end up disrespecting you. They end up not appreciating you. I think one of the reasons for that is because you get too much of your focus on the woman. You get off of your mission, your purpose, off of what she was initially attracted to you for. And you start focusing too much on her. No woman wants to be the center of your attention. Contrary to what a lot of them will say, I want to be treated like a queen. I'm a princess. Yes, they may want to feel that way, but they don't want you putting so much importance on them that they feel like you are treating them like a queen or a princess. What you guys have to understand is what a woman says she wants and what she reacts favorably to are many times, if not all the time, probably not all the time, two different things. What they say they want and what they really want. And you need to look at yourself too, and I do this also. Do you know what you really want? When you tell someone what you want, is that what you want? Is that what you're attracted to? Maybe you say you want a good, stable, dependable woman. But will you get bored with her if she's too good to you? I started to watch this movie the other night. I'm not much of a movie guy or TVs. And this woman, it was an older setting back in the 40s or something. I mean, this woman's scrubbing the floor. She's washing this guy in the bathtub. She's doing all this stuff. And she's kind of a, let me see, what did somebody call it? I can't remember, but a pushover, or she's just at his beck and call. Now, a lot of guys would say they wanted that. But in this case, this guy, he had 2 or 3 other women. He was not satisfied with her. She wasn't exciting enough. Now, you have to ask yourself, would you be fulfilled with a woman like that, or do you want a woman that is a little bit mysterious? You know she's not cheating on you, but you know she has the ability to find someone else. Now, this is something you really need to think about, because if you had experiences with more than one woman, let's say you've been with quite a few women, not a whole bunch like some of these guys, but a lot. You want a woman that's going to capture your attention. Not so much that it pulls you off your purpose, but that keeps you interested. Someone who is a little mysterious. Or maybe you don't want mystery after you get married. But you got to think about while you're dating her, doesn't it kind of intrigue you when you don't know exactly what she's doing or where she's at? Now, I'm talking to you guys because these are the same things I ask myself. Instead of focusing so much on what you want her to be, first figure out what you actually want her to be. What do you really want? Most people don't know what they really want in a woman, in life, in anything. They never take time to sit down and write out, what kind of a woman do you want? What characteristics do you want her to have? Sure, you want her to look a certain way, but those looks after a short period of time are going to wear thin. What kind of a personality do you want her to have? I know I like a little, I don't want a woman that's always at my beck and call, but then again, I want her to be cooperative. I don't want her to be out running around at night, but then I want to know that other guys want her. I want to know that she's attractive, and I want to know that she knows it. Now, do I want her looking at other guys, flirting with other guys? No, I don't. But it doesn't bother me if she comes home and tells me, hey, I was out and Joe at the supermarket, or some guy at the market tried to pick up on me. He asked me for my number, but I told him I was married, or I have a boyfriend, or whatever. That doesn't bother me at all. I want a woman that other men are attracted to. That's just the way I am. Everybody's different, and I want her to be able to tell me about it. Not in a way that she's like rubbing it in my face, but just that I know she's being honest. Because if you're with a good-looking woman, I'll guarantee you guys are hitting on her. And if she's not telling you about that, she's either afraid because you're insecure, or she's afraid because she's thinking about taking advantage of one of those opportunities, and she doesn't want you to know about it. Or there could be other reasons, but there's a couple of them right there. So is that something you're going to be able to accept or tolerate, or is that going to bother you? If you don't want that, then you better not get a very attractive woman, because guys are going to be hitting on her. That's just part of the deal. But if you feel good about yourself, you feel confident about yourself, then that's not going to bother you. But now, I know I want a woman that I don't have to worry about whether she is going to cheat on me or take up on one of these offers. So, but that has more to do with how I am in myself, how I feel about myself, what I believe about myself. And the one thing I'll guarantee you that you need to believe about yourself is that if she ever leaves you, you're going to be okay. It's not going to make or break your day. That's very important. A woman wants to know that if something happens to her, you're not going to fall apart. Now, they may ask you something like this. I've been asked this question: what would you do if I died? Now, the correct answer is, I would be sad and I would miss you, but I would go on. Or you'd probably find another woman. Yes, I'm sure I would. Now, they may act like they're angry about that, but the incorrect answer is this: well, I don't know what I would do. I just don't know how I could make it without you. These guys that say they don't know what they would do without their wife, and if they really mean it, that is not attractive to a woman. Now, you may feel like that, and that's okay, but when you go tell a woman that, it makes her look at you as weak. I don't care what people say. She wants to know if she's going to mate with you and have children with you. She wants to know if something happens to you, that you are going to be able to go on and make it and raise those kids, even if you have to get another woman, that her children are going to be okay with you. She wants to feel like you are the rock, you are the mountain, and you're going to take care of things. She does not want to be your mommy. You had one mother, and no one's going to love you and treat you like your mother did if you were fortunate enough to have a good mother. These guys nowadays, a lot of them, I don't know if it's more toward the city and they're less like that toward the country, they want a girlfriend that's like a mom to them. They want to cry on her shoulder. They want to share their heart. They want to be vulnerable. This word vulnerable means to be susceptible to attack. I don't think you need to be vulnerable to anyone. Now, I'm not talking about not being able to share your feelings. There are certain things you can share with your woman, and there are certain things you can't share with your woman. I've said this before, but if you're out and you have let's say you're working somewhere, you got a great job, you're married, and you go in one day and you get fired for no reason out of the blue. You got a mortgage, you got stuff to pay for, you got kids, and you're like devastated, right? You don't need to come home in front of your wife and children and cry and share about how afraid you are that you're not going to be able to make it, that you're thinking you might lose your house. You don't need to lay that off on her like you would your mother if she's still living. You could tell your mother that. You might tell your father that. If you got a good father, he's going to kick you in the butt and tell you to get up and go do something about it. And that's your responsibility. And he may emphasize with you for a moment or two, but he's not going to listen to your whining. He's going to tell you to get up and go out there and do what men do. Go make something happen. Take some action. And then when you take action towards your goals, that fear will go away. Some of you guys need a man to kick you in the butt and tell you to get up and do something. That's what you need. Hell, I've needed that. I've had mentors throughout my life that tell me to get up and go do something. Take some action. Don't sit here and whine about it. They made me take action. Action in the direction of your goals eliminates fear. All right? So that's all I got for today. Think about that. Sit around and do some contemplation about what you want in your life. How do you want your life to be? What is your story? What has been your story? You can change your story anytime you want to, but it's up to you. All right? Take care. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you again soon.